Hello everyone, this is Sans again with part 28 of a video series I'm making on creating a multiplayer online real-time 3D space shooter game. The last time we have been working on our navigation buttons and our home pages and added a couple of new ones, and this is exactly how our web page is looking right now. If we just open it here, okay, it's not working. I still need to run our server. There we go. Sorry for that. Anyway, while the server is starting up, let's go ahead and continue with our script. What I would like to do is, remember that our web page defaults open the homepage.php. I would like to make the first validation here, check if the user is logged in. If not, make him log in, or at least give the option to log in. We'll keep it simple, add maybe a guest login, or maybe add a Facebook login and stuff like that. So in any case, we can actually keep it very simple by just adding a guest login for now. Let's say a session login without a user database verification. We will add that later on as well. Okay, let me just go ahead and start. What we are going to do is to check if the user is logged in already through the session, which we have written a script for that already here. I'm just gonna take that and reuse it. Okay, and let's go ahead and remove this. We don't need this for now. Let's open a PHP tag. And since this web page might get refreshed in the future once the user is logged in or logs out and stuff like that, I want to make sure that the web page, which might not always be called together with this header, and our header has this session start command here, that this web page also starts its own session if need be. Okay, and if we upload now our web page and check exactly what happened, I'm going to hit F5 here, you'll notice that you will get here a notice that the session has already been started. To make sure that you don't get that notice, we can add a small validator here. So start only a session if a session couldn't be found. Like for example, you can use the session ID. I think was the name. If the session ID is empty, so if there is no session ID set yet, then go ahead and start the session. Let's see if it worked. And it did. So that's one. And another thing, actually we can start now with our session validation here. If our user is logged in, then do that, right? Else do that. So it was is set. If our variable here is set, and how are we going to call our variable in the future? Maybe just shooter. That's our game. We're going to call that user, if he logs in, shooter as the session variable, and we're going to check now if that already exists. If it checks, we're going to say maybe echo out simply a welcome message for now, at least. Okay, let's say welcome, and then echo out here our, I kind of forgot something, sorry. This is, I'll need to call the session variable here before I refer to its array element, because this session variable is an array, and it will have a member, the shooter, which will have a value, and then we're gonna show that message. Otherwise we'll say please log in. And then maybe add here a dot at the end. Add me a dot. Okay, let's check. There we go. Please log in. Of course, we can't really log in yet because we haven't been doing any logging script for now. Let me just check here. Let's make this a little more beautiful. By the way, I will still need to dedicate a separate video on commenting all these things I've been writing the last couple of videos. I haven't forgotten that, and I'll get back to that. So let me see. Now, okay, we have our login validation here that checks if you are having already a session variable or not. You can use this base actually already to make a guest login, and we'll keep it like that for now. And anyway, let's tell our user to log in or give him the option to actually do something, right? So there are a couple of options here. I was thinking we can use form and the submit input type in order for us to like post the information that are being contained in the form input elements, to post them to the server and do some stuff with them. Or we can use JavaScripting or jQuery and stuff like that. And since we are already like going ahead with using a lot of scripts, JavaScript and jQuery to make effects in our web page, do stuff, let's use jQuery as well to make our input validation later on, and to call a script to actually call our user or post the session variable shooter to our server if need be. So since we don't really need to submit any information using a form, we don't really need the form tag. We're just going to go ahead and use the input tag here. So let's start. So the input tag has no closing tag, and I'm going to like, this is of type, oh no. One more thing is, let's go ahead and maybe close the PHP here and reopen it again, so that we can make pure HTML input here. That will ease up our programming efforts, because we don't need to echo out everything over and over again. With this method, we just actually can cut our program here and make it continue read here if something happened here, right? So let's go ahead and keep going then. This is a text button. This is a text button, and I'm going to give this an ID so that we can pull the data in it using JavaScript later on. Let's call this just simple player name, and then since we are doing a guest login, we don't really need an input field for password, at least for now. So we can just go ahead and ask for the player name and offer the type, and you don't need to type submit because we're not posting that to any page here, but the type button would be enough, I guess. So, and then of course let's give that button a small value like login, and then we will go ahead and give this also, no, it doesn't really an ID, but give this here a small event here. What will happen if this button is clicked? I want to call a JavaScript function, right? So which JavaScript function do we want to call? We haven't done it yet. We'll just call it login validate. So okay, JavaScript login validate function. So let's see how this is looking. There we go. Maybe we could add a break tag here because of this annoying. Okay, we can also tell here For now, username. Let's break this here. Submit 5. All right, that looks good. No, this is still up there. Why are you up there? Please log in. Let's add a break tag here too. I know it's not really beautiful yet, but we will in the future add these login pages and stuff like that also in between div tags later on, so that we can move them around our main page. But for now, let's just keep building on our site here. So we can log in now. Of course, nothing is happening right now because there is no function yet that does anything. We can go ahead and do that.